was going to do was to offer to share some cost, which would be to give him or his new tenant a 1-year credit towards their dues. So we understand that you put this up without board approval, that you had contention with the other board members or what have
Is
you.
his fence on our property?
The fence actually runs through our sign, our monument, the landscaping of our monument. He put his fence through it, and he broke off one of the lights on our property when they installed the fence.
Well, the first things first, is if it's on our property, then we
Yes,
can just require the new seller to get a survey to be sure that the fence is on the property.
correct.
Oh, so,
But
but
my point is that there's a letter, so let me, you see where I'm going here.
No, I get it.
One, the guy had a bone to pick with us, he's leaving, so do you care? But more importantly, any real estate agent will not represent a house that is contention with the homeowners association. The first thing that banks and stuff do is say, have you got a clean sign off from the homeowners association? If there's litigation pending or what have you, the house will not sell. So, we have the opportunity here to get what we need, which is, look, we just want it back the way that it was, and we'll go an extra thing by granting you a credit. So, I'm tossing that out for discussion in board. If we don't think that that's appropriate, then we don't do it.
why don't you offer to move this fence in? And get it off your property line? Cause I'm pretty sure, I am pretty sure he had that survey before he put that fence up.
No,
Huh?
no. He ran it right through our, there's a broken light there at the bottom of his
I
fence.
realize that, but he had.
Our landscaping is inside his fence. The landscaping cut for that thing, I'll take a picture and bring it in here, but the landscaping cut is curved on the fence. And his fence goes through the center of our landscaping, and our mower has been mowing inside his fence to maintain that monument.
Well, have his property surveyed, and
Well, survey's $350, that's what I think we're talking about.
Look, we'll just give you a credit, take it down, because we're in contention with you. And if he's smart, he's going to realize that we're gonna call the realtor and say, we're in contention about this property. And say, look, all this guy needs to do is take his trees down that he told us that he was planting in bad faith. That he was
I don't
doing
want to see
despite
you
us.
caught in the trick, because I would tell you, I had my property surveyed, and I paid the $350, because I already had it surveyed, and if it comes up the same, you can take it up.
All right, well, you're not gonna sell your house while we're in contention, because we'll take it to court with you. And
We're
you
taking the court over the
but
property line.
it'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna sell your house in 2 years. See, nobody's gonna buy your house while you're in contention with the HOA, that's my point.
You know,
So
I had
it's
this
just
run-in
easier
with
to-
Ryan, cause my next door neighbor, he said, quit cutting my friggin' grass. I said, no, I said, you're right on the property line.
Don't confuse your issue with this issue, that's something different, I don't wanna hear about that. Right now, I'm talking to the board
Well, I'm
about,
I'm
what
just
are your
saying.
thoughts, what do you guys think? I don't, I'm easy, I'm just telling you,
I think
if
this
there's
is-
ever a time to get anything done,
I think that's the time. I think
This is the
you're
time.
exactly right, that you can, what we have here is, review the time of sale for board approval to return property to existing condition.
and give them and the board will vote to give you a 1-year credit if you do so.
And review avenues to review fence under condition, fence.
Compliance.
Under contention to compliance.
Right. So what I would move is that the board grant the officers the authority to, one, engage the attorney, draft a letter that contends the fence that was not approved.
Do you
And
do it
then-
now, or do we need to do it at the time of sale? Because they're
We'll
gonna
do it
have to-
now. No, we'll notice them now, so that it's not fair to the realtor to hit them when they're trying to sell it, you know what I mean, we'll tell them now. And the third would be the board moves, it would take a board notice to give him a credit. I can't just issue credits to the bank. So then my third motion would be to offer him or the new buyer, a 1-year credit of dues for their cooperation.
So I basically
Or
already
any
has to
misunderstanding
go
with
to
the fence.
3 feet, and he's in compliance.
Okay, well, if he
Unless-
moves it off my sign, I don't care. I mean, that's still an improvement.
Yeah, well, this is hope that our sign isn't on his property.
That is correct. If you
No,
go back,
our sign is properly.
go back to Jack Poland, he'll tell you that when he put that fence in and his property was surveyed, I'm telling you. You can go back to Jack Powell. That man on the corner had his property surveyed, and that's where he put his fence within those survey lines.
I'm telling you right now, he is not
So,
within the 3
I
foot
don't,
spots
you know, I
of
don't wanna
Beaver
get
County
in an argument with
standoff.
the board, I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
I've known him now, because I've known him since I moved here.
so the bottom line is he put that house on the market because he wants to leave. And if he wants to leave, and he wants to get in a pissing contest with the board for the next year, we're gonna be here for the next 20 years. So, we want that back to the original condition. If you want to leave,
If that property belongs to you, Don,
but you
if it
agreed
does
when
not-
you bought the property that you would follow that you were a member of the homeowners
there was
association,
nothing
and you
said,
would follow the architectural bylaws of the homeowners association.
there was nothing says that I had to submit nothing
Yes, it does.
to the architect.
It's in the bylaws and the covenants, that if you if you put in a fence, it has to be approved by the board. It's in the bylaws and the covenants.
It is, it's less than
So,
6
I
feet.
mean, I'm not gonna argue
Made
with you,
out of
John.
wood,
I'm just
yeah.
telling you, you know, what I think.
Yeah, let's just move on from this.
Yeah, let's
You
move
wanna
on.
take a vote on it or no?
Um,
You wanna push? I mean, if we push, we miss the window.
I'm trying to think.
So here's what we have. House for sale on the estate's monument, the fence possibly intruding onto property line. Don't wanna make that assumption.
Yeah, what have you done if it's not
Possibly
your property?
unapproved and was not approved. It was an architectural change not approved by the ball in violation of our covenants and bylaws. Both of those are true.
Possibly not. Could get hold of Jack Bowen. He was the president of
Well, he
this
may not
board.
know. And just
When-
because you pay for a surveyor doesn't mean that we can't pay for a surveyor and have a
I'm not
surveyor
saying
go
that.
too, right, so.
I'm saying, he made it when Jack Bowen submitted, I have no idea what the fence, but I know he had his property surveyed.
Yeah.
And Jack even said, that little strip that we're talking about that much, where that fence is on,
Yeah,
that was his property. So that means the HOA was encroaching on his property when they put that
the
nice.
sign was built before the house
No,
was
no,
built.
no, no. When they put that nice row of green flowers that don't bloom, they look like grass.
Yeah, right.
That's what he cut through.
Right.
And he's saying that was his property.
Well, I will tell you that we just went through the front monuments and checked all the easements, and they were recorded properly, and that we had 10 feet around all the monuments as properly. So I will be shocked if they spent $80,000 on a monument and didn't record the easement properly around it. So, you know, the bottom line is we're a different board. You know, Jackie's in here, I don't know that anybody's, and so the bottom line is, you know, if we want to, we can, if he is. So,
So what we have is the house for sale on the estate's monument, fence constructed without an approved board vote in violation of covenants, possibly intruding onto easement. Review the time of sale, so our options, review the time of sale for board approval to return to existing condition, review avenues to remove, replace fence, remove or replace fence under contention to compliance or original condition of.
I would say to original condition. But we're gonna talk to an attorney, I mean, we'll talk to our lawyer about it and see what he has to say, he'll tell us what to do. I think we just leave this talk to the attorney about returning it to the original condition, that's our intent. I mean, I don't see why he cares, honestly. I would take the $350 credit and say, you know what, I'm leaving. And if you're gonna give me $350 and it makes my house go better, I'm out, fine. Give me the $370 and you guys take care of it, fine, I'll send the landscaper in, we'll have it pulled by the landscaper. Or somebody else. I mean, why would you care? You're not living here anymore, right?
Well, he's still there now until he sells his house.
Yeah, but we're saying when you sell your house, return it to the original condition.
If truly, I would do that. If you came to me and tell me that, and if I truly knew that I had my house surveyed, and you the green hedge was encroaching on my property, I wouldn't move it.
Okay, well, I mean, then
Then I'm in the right.
you are, and every neighbor has the right to call that realtor and say, don't sell that house. Because we hate the people there, they have a crappy community, and they have a fight going on with the board. And I'm telling you, I just bought a house 2 years ago, if they came in and said, the homeowners association hates us, and the neighborhood hates you, I would not buy that house, I'd go and look at the other 350 houses that there are to look at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're gonna sell the house, right, you don't care. Get back to compliance. It shouldn't matter to you, unless you're spiteful.
Yeah, he may be,
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
But let me say it like this, if you don't ask now, then
Yeah,
the
I
new
know
person
why
will
the-
buy it and they'll say, no, this is the way I bought it and was changed hands and approved.
Yeah, I know why.
We have to note that we are unhappy with it, in one way or the other.
So
Okay,
Do you have a motion to talk to the lawyer?
so I move those three things, which is, one, to talk to the lawyer. 2, to send him a letter of some kind, whatever the lawyer tells us is appropriate. And then 3, to authorize the board to offer him or the new owner, the new purchaser, a 1-year credit.
Gotcha. I second that.
Now, would it be cheaper for you to talking about moving the fence? You only
I would
spent,
rather him take it out.
Hmm?
I mean, to me, I'm giving you the $380, just take it out. Because you don't care, you're moving, and the new guy probably doesn't care either.
yeah, the only reason he put that fence because of his autistic child.
Maybe so, maybe so. And well, then you're leaving, so there are 400 people that bought their houses before you in the back there, I don't say 400, 80 estate owners that bought their houses when there was nothing blocking the sign. And so there really is an expectation, because I paid a lot for my house, that the sign would be there, right? That, those of us that bought it. So, anyway, I mean, it is an asset of the club that by law, this board is required to maintain. So it seems to me that if we have the opportunity to protect our sign, that we're supposed to be doing that. That's what we're paid to do. That's our mission.
Now you raise it up so you can see the red color.
Yeah, but we wanted to have the landscaping, and we want lights on it, right? And right now, so even the 3-foot standoff is a win, so we get our landscaping back in there, right? So,
Yeah, because I'm, like I said, I'm pretty sure that came up with Jack by the phone with the president of the board.
listen, no one's advocating getting to a lawsuit and spending
No, no.
$5,000
Oh,
to
no.
do this.
You just put that fence up here recently. It's not.
No.
It was like 2
no.
years, yeah.
It's been about 2.5
It's 2.5 years.
Okay.
But the trees
Yeah.
are brand new, I mean, a year or two.
And, that's why,
But he said, he specifically said, he told us that was for spite.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay,
All right,
sorry.
move on.
So motion 1 was to engage attorney to review avenues to remove fence under contention to original condition, move fence lot. 2 is to send a demand letter to homeowner, and 3 is to offer board credit of 1 year of dues
Yes,
to new,
to current or
to seller or buyer.
for new occupant. To seller or purchaser, yeah.
And see, I seconded, everybody,
Yeah,
Fine with that. I'm good.
Jordan, did you agree or disagree?
agree.
All right, cool. All right, so next one on the agenda is trash behind lights that Don's already talked about.
Yep, I'll go talk to him.
And letter D, next one, aerator fountain for the pond. I don't know if this is in the
So-
budget or,
So we went to a monthly maintenance contract, which is fairly steep with Dominion Aquatics. I wanna say it's $210 or $300 a month.
yeah,
And their job is to keep the pond, to continue to pass the county health inspection, which we get either annually or biannually. So the pond is compliant.
okay,
Now, there have been complaints from the homeowners association, which the board has acknowledged, from the community about mosquitoes from stagnant water. And so, one of the discussion points that James Altop started 3 or 4 years ago was the investigation into a fountain aerator that would move the water pleasant thing to look at. And it would keep the water moving, and in theory, also keep the mosquitoes down. Now, pond aerators are nothing, it's a pump. I mean, it's a couple $100, not a big deal. And most of them eject with enough force that we could make a decent looking fountainhead out of it. The real problem is running power into the water and to the water side. And, you know, I guess
We look at solar options?
we could look at the utility company, we could look at the solar options, and then we need a battery, and that's gotta be placed someplace. I'm indifferent, you know, that is an improvement to an existing resource that we have. We could play games that it's part of its maintenance if we wanted, but I don't think FSR, I think what would happen is that we'd probably get half of the cost of it pushed out of reserves maintaining the pond, but then the other half would have to come out of annual operating costs. I don't think we're talking about more than $3,000 or $4,000, but then the question